Sooner fans, Longhorn Nation, welcome to episode 25 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Oklahoma and the University of Texas. Kevin, I want to start with a big shout out to the mental health community in Norman, Oklahoma. A number of behavioral therapists reached out to me offering me discounts on working through my childhood trauma that I mentioned in the last episode. And I want to appreciate all of those folks.
Are you going to take them up on that?
Listen, I've been through so much therapy and medication that I don't know if anything's going to work except a victory on Saturday, to be honest.
Okay.
But I do. Hey, you know what? Maybe we'll see. If the loss happens, I might need all the help I can get. But Kevin, the big news today is it is looking 90-10, 95-5 that Quinn Ewers is your guy rolling into the Cotton Bowl. Is this confirmed?
I don't know if it's confirmed because Sark hasn't said it, right? And he's not going to say it. But the reports are flowing out there that Quinn Ewers will be back on Saturday, expected to start the game, rather.
Okay. For Longhorn fan, what does that do to your offense? For Sooner fan, what do we need to change defensively when you transition from Card to Ewers?
What opens up the downfield passing game a little bit more. Card has struggled overall with the deep ball. He's missed Xavier Worthy several times this year, really, on some of those deep shots that really define Sark's offense. They like to run the ball and set up those play actions on go routes and those deep crossing routes. And Quinn is better than that. At least so far, he's shown to be better than that in the first quarter of the Alabama game. It's a little bit more consistent with the downfield passing game. So that's really what it opens up. He's got elite arm talent, the ability to fit passes exactly where the receiver needs him to be, even against good coverage, which we saw against Alabama. Again, small sample size, but the talent is there.
So does this mean Oklahoma is were we already going to have to respect the pass with Card? It was just going to look different? Or does this open up the passing game quite a bit and we're not going to be able to key in on Bijan as much as maybe we thought if Card was the one
Yeah,
playing?
I think that's the big difference is instead of being able to just key on Bijan and just Worthy, right? I think you have to be aware because Quinn can make some of these throws that Hudson Card, for all his skill, can't make. You know what I mean? He can make the deep over the shoulder throw even against good coverage. So you have to respect the deep pass even much more than you did with Card. So again, that's going to draw some attention away from Bijan and potentially could open up some big plays in the running game too.
Okay, so Oklahoma's last two games, we did not look good defending the quarterback run. Either game, K-State, it was like a continued onslaught of quarterback run, and against TCU, it was a couple of really big busts. Is Ewers? I know he's athletic, whatever. He's not a statue back there by any means, but I wouldn't think, and you can correct me, I wouldn't think he's Mr. Dual Threat, and especially if he's hurt, I'm imagining he's not going to want to put himself in a lot of positions.
Correct.
Can we minimize? Does Oklahoma at least get to think they might be able to minimize the threat of the quarterback run game?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Card brings that threat. Card is actually a lot faster than you would think he is, but Ewers, no, he wants to stay back there in the pocket. But again, Sark prefers his quarterbacks to make plays from the pocket, than to run and make plays with their feet. He'll take it, especially if the play breaks down. It's on third down. Carter's been really good about that, picking up some pretty big first downs on third and long so far this season. But again, I think Sark prefers the quarterback to be in the pocket, making plays down the field. So, but with Ewers, though, it does definitely minimize the threat of a quarterback run, even on a third and long.
So what that tells me is, I don't know. What's up is down and down is up right now with Oklahoma. It's hard to know what the heck we're thinking or, what they're thinking, what they're even doing. Through the first three games, we were getting tremendous pressure on the quarterback. We were coming out of each of those games talking about Reggie Grimes, Ethan Downs, Jalen Redmond, um, seeing Stutzman flying around making plays. Aguebu was really solid in the linebacker spot. Deshaun White was at times putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback coming from that cheetah position. Through the first two conference games, the defensive line has been non-existent. I mean, almost zero pressures on the quarterback. I don't think we didn't get one tackle for loss / sack against Adrian Martinez. I think we got one sack against Max Duggan, and I think we had to blitz 7 just to get that sack. So if we've eliminated the, and I'm just let me kind of think this out, right? So we've the threat of the quarterback run may be a little more minimized. Is your offensive line going to present the same issues to Oklahoma's defensive line that we've seen from K-State and TCU?
Well, that's the biggest question mark for Texas, especially we talked about it in one of our earlier episodes this week. The interior of the Texas offensive line has been up and down. The 2 guards in the center. Okay, so I think if there's a part that they want to, OU's going to want to exploit, it's going to be there. Maybe do some twists and stunning. You got young guys out there, so they haven't seen everything yet. So maybe with some creative twists and stunts, kind of like what Grinch used to run, that could be a way to get pressure on. I know, but hey, listen, those guys that were on that D line last year, that was a difference in the ball game.
Well,
being able to Texas in the second half.
What was interesting about Grinch's defense is against Texas, he was pretty good. I mean, I guess we gave up 45 points. So, but at times, especially in the second half last year, in 2020, prior to y'all coming back, like with 4 minutes to go in the fourth, up till 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they had been a pretty good defense. They had held you guys in check in 2020. Really good performance. So, Grinch had that. You're right. I don't know if it was the stunts that he was doing. Venables can get creative on the blitz game, especially out of those zone blitz packages. Correct. It's just going to be interesting to see if Texas can pick it up and if we're willing to risk it with Worthy, Whittington, and the tight end out there that could possibly burn us. It's a really interesting chess match. Bringing Ewers back, I hope I'm right. Maybe I'm saying this just out of self-preservation, right? But I hope I'm right in that he's a freshman, and I'm hoping the environment can get to him at least a little bit for Oklahoma. Because if it doesn't, I'm kind of nervous that he could really pick us apart, like he looked like he was able to do against Alabama. We didn't get to see Alabama make any adjustments, blah blah blah. But just him and Worthy had a connection from the snap. They
did. Yeah, and that's what Texas fans are hoping to see, if they can, rekindle that spark quickly too. And then I want to see Whittington working the deep middle of the field, and then same with JT Sanders, the tight end.
Here's the deal, right?
And of course, that opens up the running game for Bijan too, if that's the case. So I don't know if they're going to try to come out and establish the run first, or just start, hitting some deep shots and then go to the run once the defense has started to drop back. So we'll see how it goes.
It's a matchup. It's a really nice matchup. I say it's not a good matchup, but it's an intriguing matchup because the threats that Texas does provide are really spread out. It's not all receiver or all run game, or it's a real balanced attack when it's rolling. To me, the defensive line and the status of Billy Bowman are the biggest question marks, because Harrington, and you don't know if it was Harrington, right? He's the safety. So it didn't look good when Harrington was in against TCU. For the record, not a lot looked good. But you wonder if you had Bowman, if things would have been a little more clean and tidy. Also, Bowman has the ability to just make some plays. And
he's a dynamic athlete. And again, I think for the PFF, Pro Football Focus, I think they have Billy Bowman ranked as the top cover coverage player in the whole conference so far this season. So
really, yeah.
yeah,
You
he's really
know,
good, man.
we just didn't have any of those. But again, the TCU game was just so weird. But he's created some of the turnovers that we've had. That's the other thing is Oklahoma hasn't created any turnovers in 2 games. Nothing can change this game in the Cotton Bowl quicker for either side, either one of us, because Gabriel hasn't had a ton of turnovers either. So, but nothing can change
any yet for Gabriel.
Yeah. So nothing can change the tenor of this game quicker than a turnover or a score on special teams. Either one of those, and it could really flip the script for this game either way. But Billy Bowman is my big question mark. Here's the thing. Offensively for Oklahoma, there is starting to ebb some optimism that Gabriel actually gets the start in this game. Are you seeing the same things I'm seeing?
I am seeing that. I saw the video that OU posted, and just in the background, you can see Gabriel there in pads. So I haven't heard anything about how much he practiced, if he was a full participant, or what, if he was just out to the side throwing, what that looks like. But I know Texas is preparing for Gabriel.
So, well, yeah, because our other guys aren't worth a flip. I prepare for Gabriel too. So here's the thing, though, Kevin. What do you know in terms of, and maybe you don't know any of it, but in terms of the concussion protocol, if he was knee deep in the protocol, right? If he was still feeling symptoms, he wouldn't have pads on, would he?
I'm not sure how that works as far as how you dress when it comes to practice. Again, it was a quick video, and he was just in the background. It wasn't focused on him at all, but he was just in the video, and he appeared to be wearing pads. So I know I think you can clear the protocol within 6 days, is what I've heard. I don't know for sure, but I mean, there is definitely a pathway to him returning and playing on Saturday.
Well, I'm not advocating that Oklahoma rushes him back. I have been pretty firm in the fact that I don't think he's going to play, and I don't know if this video changes it or not. He does give us the best opportunity to win the game.
No doubt.
Not the version we saw at TCU. If it's the version we saw at TCU, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback, if that's the level of play we get. But if nothing else, just to have to respect the fact that this kid can make some throws, that would really, really help out our running game. Help out Eric Gray, help out Javonte Barnes. Marcus Major still looks like he's got a high ankle sprain.
Have you heard anything about Eric Gray? I mean, he left the game injured. I haven't heard anything, and just wondering
dude, Oklahoma is locked down. I have scoured Twitter. I have scoured comment sections. I've checked with sources at the radio station. I am getting nothing on any of these injuries. Not that I'm some insider. I mean, I'm just, we've always been open and honest about that. I'm a fan first, but at the same time, dude, I haven't heard anything. I don't know. We've talked about the injury list, but between Gabriel, Marcus Major, Billy Bowman, Wanye Morris, if Eric Gray is banged up, Javonte Barnes, I think, can get the job done, but he's a freshman too. He's a freshman too, and you get rocked and you lose the ball trying to make an extra play. Again, the turnovers are going to kill you in this game. They're absolutely going to kill you.
If there's any position that you would trust a freshman in,
running back,
it would be the running back.
It'd be running back. Oklahoma has historically had good play from their freshmen and running backs in this game. I mean, you look at Adrian Peterson, you look at DeMarco Murray. We've had some very good, productive runs with freshman running backs. So I agree and I said it. I don't know if I said it yesterday or 2 days ago. What a win looks like for Oklahoma, a win looks like Javonte Barnes or Eric Gray, either or, having plus 150 yards on the ground. Like, I think it's a have to happen. And Kevin, that's regardless of who the quarterback is. I don't even care if it's Gabriel. We have to have a productive run game to even open up some of those passing lanes for Gabriel.
Yeah, it all starts with the running game, with most offenses, but especially the way that Levy's offense is set up.
Defensively, any injuries on your end? And
no,
what do you think your game plan is going to be after you've seen your guys play 5 games? I mean, what are you anticipating from your defense?
Yeah, I'm expecting them to, sell out to stop the run first and foremost. Stop if it's Gray, stop him from getting to the edge. He does well when he gets out there, and so far the defensive line has held up well against really everybody on their schedule, right? The Tech game was weird because if you look at the averages, they were 3 yards a carry, just different when you run 100 plays.
Yeah.
Eventually, you know what I mean. So they actually weren't as horrible as you would think that they were against Texas Tech. So the D line has held up well. So they're hoping they can hold up against the inside run game, and then once that'll set up the play action. Hopefully they can get pressure without having to blitz, leaving those guys to cover the receivers, especially Mims, because Texas fans know exactly what that dude is about from last year.
Special teams, Oklahoma has the advantage with punter. I'm very comfortable with saying that. I think Turk is a heck of a punter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know enough about our kicker still. I mean, he just hasn't been put in a position where he's had to come with a big clutch kick. Who's rolling out your field goal and kicking game right now?
All right, so they got a new kicker this year. Dicker's gone. A kid named Bert Auburn. You'll see his hair, so you can't miss him once you see him. Once you see him, you'll remember this kid for the rest of his career. He's been really good. I think Texas fans are really nervous about how the kicking position would look because Dicker's been there, for 4 years. Well, this kid came out. He's the one to hit the field goal, the clutch field goal to give them the lead against Alabama in the fourth quarter with like a minute or so left in the game. He also hit the field goal to send the Tech game to overtime. Remember they got the 2 deep shots down the field, got in the field goal range. Kid comes right off the bench and hits a 49-yard field goal to send the game in overtime. So he's actually been way better than any Texas fan could have imagined so far. So we actually feel pretty comfortable with the kicker if it were to come down to a field goal situation.
I'm telling you, man.
New punter too. He's okay. Dicker was a punter too. Kid named Daniel Trejo is a punter. He's done a pretty good job so far. So far so good.
Sounds
not
like
as good as Turk though. Turk is really good.
Sounds like a soccer kid from San Antonio. Where's he from?
I don't know where he's from. He was at I think Houston Baptist or somewhere university. Okay. Yeah, and hit the portal and
that name
won the starting job.
That name sounds like every name of every kid I went to HB Zachary Middle School with in San Antonio was Danny Trejo. Listen, I want to transition here to something a little bit more important than the game plan. I don't know about you. I am looking forward to a corn dog. I know that is like vanilla ice cream, and I know people are like, oh, come on. Dude, listen, I got to get me a Fletcher's, and I go looking for it right away. Right freaking away. That's the first thing I eat.
If you're a hater on that, you got to understand it's a once-a-year thing, right? I don't know you to eat corn dogs at other times, but you have to stay fair, man. You got to get a Fletcher's. You gotta have one. I'm not going to be there, but I know you'll be there. You'll be headed down tomorrow. So are you going to hit the fair tomorrow, or is this all going to be on Saturday morning?
No. Saturday morning. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No. The cool part about being a part of the OU Alumni Club where we're staying downtown in the Omni, and you can buy coupons at the hotel for the state fair. So you don't have to stand in 2 lines. So that helps the getting to the food faster. I'll tell you, one of my traditions, if we win, is the ginormous entryway into the Cotton Bowl that I think is on the west side of the Cotton Bowl, and it's just huge, and that's so packed after the game. But if you come out of that entrance and you're walking straight out, and you can somehow get through all of that, there's a food stand on the right, and it's one of those generic food stands. It looks like it's been there for years with like the blue and the white, right? It's nothing fancy. It's not one of the new name ones, but they always have what I like to call San Antonio style gorditas. And I always jump on that, dude. I get me a chicken and a pork, and I freaking love them. They're really good. I usually try to save coupons up for the last one because this. Oklahoma doesn't have bad Mexican food. It really doesn't. But it doesn't have you can't get a good gordita anywhere in this state.
Yeah, that's a South Texas thing.
That is listen, the puffy flour tortilla, or oh my gosh, dude. I love gord, and so I'm already thinking about that right now. Now my wife, she'll get the list, like what to eat, and she'll map out the map and where we're gonna go, and I'm like,
that's an important role though. I mean, that's For her to take that on, to me, that's important because, man, there's some crazy stuff down there you can find. So
Dude,
shout out to Alice for taking that on.
she will get all dude, listen, she loves all of it. She'll go all out on the food scene just to try to figure out something different that nobody. She likes to have the stuff that nobody else is eating. What I keep telling her is when they have that list, everybody's trying that, but she doesn't care. She loves it all. I'll tell you the funnest and yet most painful food item or drink item I ever found was before the 2008 game. I was still young enough to want to drink beer pretty decently before the game, right? Which, whatever.
11
But
o'clock
anyway,
kickoff too.
11 a.m. kickoff, and we get there early, like 8 o'clock, and I found funnel cake beer.
Funnel cake beer.
It was really sweet, and it had on the rim was powdered sugar. Oh my God, dude, listen. When you paired it with a funnel cake, oh, it was fantastic. I might have had 3 funnel cakes and 3 funnel cake beers, and I'm a lightweight. And by halftime of the 2008 game, I had the most rip-roaring headache I've ever had in my life because sweet beer, I can't imagine anything actually giving somebody a headache faster. You know what I mean? You could, I could have taken the hit that Gabriel took last week and not got a headache as fast as I got from this, sweet beer. But it tasted so good going down. Suffice it to say, I haven't had a beer before the game since. I usually grab one after a win. That you just have to. I grab one after a win.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're going down tomorrow morning, but the BBP is still going to tape a show tomorrow morning. Kevin and I will have our picks. We're going to have our final thoughts on the game. We're going to round out Red River Shootout week in style on October 7th in the morning. But Kevin, any last thoughts on October 6th?
No, man, we're excited that it's so close. Starting to get really excited, man. It was a little bit rough early in the week. It's like, man, the weekend needs to get here. We're getting close now. I'm getting really excited.
One more quick story. I went to Dick's, and I was not planning on buying any OU gear. And then my daughters were with me. They're on fall break, and I'm like, oh, forget it. I bought them a shirt and me a shirt, and Jeffrey's a shirt, his girlfriend a shirt, and I'm checking out, and they're like, oh, you're going down to the game? Yep, I'm going down to the game. We're talking about traffic. I'm like, it's here. It is here. When the checkout girl at Dick's is when we're talking about traffic, and she's talking about which way she goes and which way I'm going to go and all this stuff. I'm like, we are on the precipice.
Yeah, it's time.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's time. Yeah.
All right, man. We'll talk tomorrow. Boomer.
All right, hook 'em.